Good afternoon and welcome back to Elle's Messages of Light. Firstly, before I get into the automatic writing channeled messages that I've had coming through today, I'd just like to apologise for not posting the 1010 video for the third eye and the crown chakra rainbow bridge activation. I've had a lot on, as many of you who follow me will know, and yeah, it's obviously it's not going to get posted on the 1010, but you know, I will still do the video when I feel much better, you know, to do it. It takes a lot of my energy, more energy than these videos to do. You know, because it's Reiki, it's light language, crystal healing, you know, so there's more of my energy that's used to going into these videos. But, you know, the effectiveness of the Reiki and the light language, it's not tied to linear time, you know, which means they transcend time and space. So any time that I release this video and you watch it, it's accessible, you know, the energy will still reach you. So yeah, it's not tied to time. But I just wanted to let you know, if you was waiting for that video, it will be coming soon. I just have to feel well enough in myself, you know. Energy-wise, I can't give that energy out if that energy is not 100% in me. So yeah, timing. It's all to do with timing as well. Yeah, so I'll just get onto the channeled the automatic writing that came out on the channeled message, and it was from my Mary Magdalene deck. Came through this morning, but again, things have been stopping and starting for me all day, so I finally sat down and channeled the message. And yeah, there's, you know, very powerful message in it, as all these are, you know. But yeah, so this card came out, and it's true alchemy is the way of the heart. And instantly, you know, it rung a bell for me, you know. I speak about the heart a lot on this channel, because I know from my spiritual wisdom and my spiritual awakening and the route that I've taken for the last 7 years, that the heart is truly the way back to your divine self. You know, everything comes from the heart. Everything. It's the most powerful. It's the most. You know, it's the most powerful place. You know, we can come from. It's the heart. Everything is within the heart, you know, it's already there inside us. But yeah, I just felt guided to draw this card, and you know, this came out, and it seems like a simple message, you know, and it's a short sentence. True alchemy is the way of the heart. Sounds so simple, but I know from walking this path and opening my heart chakra, truly opening my heart, you know, really going into my heart space and really looking inside it at the dark places, you know, I had inside myself, you know. So I know the strength and the determination it takes to truly alchemize all the pain we hold in our hearts, and truly alchemize this pain, you know, into love. It's a journey. It's a long journey of self-discovery and being willing to go into places you've never gone before. You know, it's not for the faint-hearted. Pardon the pun. It's certainly not for the faint-hearted. Once you start upon this journey of opening your heart, you're going to reveal things to yourself. You're going to expose yourself to emotions that you've held deep within you, locked away, suppressed for many, many years, maybe past lifetimes, you know, childhood, you're going to open all that up. But once you do, it's a beautiful thing. I can honestly say that, you know. But this is what it truly takes to really alchemize that pain. It takes a warrior's spirit, you know. It takes wanting that true change, you know, not just that surface change. It actually takes, it really, really does unveil the deepest layers, you know. But that's true change. That's true alchemy. That's where the magic happens. So, you know, from our childhood, and we're beyond our childhood, even like as far back as our ancestors, our parents, our DNA, we carry beliefs and society's conditions, you know, that are put upon us. You know, we get beliefs put on us, and thoughts put on us, and ideas and of what, you know, society wants us to believe in, conditioned, and they're not ours, you know. It's not so, the saying, it's not so, you know, they don't belong to us. It is not so that these conditions that we've been, you know, had instilled in us, they truly are not our heart. So, you know, the mind, our thoughts, the ideas, the beliefs, these are all created from our ancestors, our DNA, our parents, society, social media. You know, the mind in 3D, it keeps us locked in fear, keeps us in lack. It's that conditioning of our environments, you know, that keeps us there, that keeps us locked in that, that state of fear. You know, it's not us. It's not the true us. It's ego. It's where you know, our I can't think of the word. It's ego, you know. It's not the true us. It's not the authentic us. It's not what we are. It never was. So, you know, to go from 3D to 5D, we go into the heart, you know. We take the journey from the mind back to the heart. And, you know, they said that is where the alchemy of the heart truly happens. You know, once we decide to take that journey and get out of the 3D mind, and, you know, we take this path along to finding our own hearts and what's truly within our own heart. That's the true alchemy, you know. So how do we get back to that, you know? So it's a journey, but it's a worthwhile journey. It's different levels of consciousness. It means facing your ego. It means releasing old patterns. It means raising our vibration, you know. And I've done all this on my journey. That's why I can speak about it. You know, I've often spoken. You can't speak about something you've not gone down yourself. You know, I've took this path. You know, I'm still on this path. I speak about that as well. I'm very open about. I'm still learning. I'm still alchemizing things within myself. You know. We never stop learning on this journey. It's a lifelong journey, and the journey back to your heart, they're saying, is a lifelong journey, and it you know, it really is. So, you know, for me, how I started this journey back to my heart is I started a simple yoga practice. You know, I started eating healthier. Outside circumstances made it so that I had to eat healthy. Anyway, you know, digestion problems came in way back for me, you know, about 15 years back now. So I was set upon this path anyway, you know. I had no choice. I had to change my lifestyle to become healthy, you know. So I started listening to meditation. I started chanting, bringing in prayer. I started more holistic practices. I started decluttering my environment. That's not just, in my home space, my friendships, my relationships. I started being really, really observant on who I let into my life. And I also brought in boundaries, which was very, very hard for me to do. Because I've always been a very empathic person, and I've always worried about other people and worried about hurting their feelings. But, to truly go into your heart, you have to have boundaries, emotional boundaries, you can't just let people, I don't like to say walk all over you, but you have to have those emotional boundaries. It's self-compassion is what they're saying. It's compassion for yourself. It's not a cold thing. It's not a harsh thing. It's having that compassion for yourself. And that comes from the heart. Self-compassion, compassion for others. That comes from the heart space. So I started looking after my body, my mind. And through that, my spiritual body came online. I started noticing little changes at first where I felt stronger in myself. I felt stronger in my own beliefs. Society's beliefs didn't really affect me as strongly. I was following my own path at this time. Took many years, to get me to this point. But it's a process, and it involves letting go completely of all we have been conditioned to think and feel about ourselves and our identity in this world. So it's a complete surrender to everything we've been taught as children, from our parents, everything we've had conditioned in us, our ancestral line, past lives, I've delved into, my past lives, and it's a complete stripping away of, the false identity. For me, it was that alchemy, I recognised I was an alchemist. We all are. The same we all are. We are all alchemists. And we are. We've just forgotten it. I recognise that I can alchemise. I alchemise negative energy into positive energy. I alchemise the dark into light. I take pain to love, That's the way of the heart. It's alchemy. That's the true alchemy. And it's the way back, back to the heart. And it's about giving yourself the freedom to express your emotions and not suppress them. Because as children, we let go, don't we? We express our emotions. If we're happy, we say we're happy. If we're sad, we cry. As children, we are not so numbed down by society and society's beliefs and our parents' beliefs. As very, very young children. But up until that point, we can express ourselves. But when society starts coming in and the beliefs of parents and, other people around us, teachers, authoritative figures, that's where we lose that innocence of our inner child. And, probably our heart, our true heart. But they're saying it can go far back as the ancestral line and, past lives and but so when we do, start doing practices like yoga and meditation, and mindfulness, and being in the present moment, that's when the compassion and for ourselves comes back, and the compassion for others can come back. And our hearts can truly then begin to open and alchemize the pain to love. I speak about unconditional love and love. And for me, the unconditional love is no conditions. You don't put conditions on actual true love. Unconditional love, there's no conditions on it. So we begin to live our true selves. Everything we do comes from a place of love and compassion for ourselves and others. And the heart is our blueprint. It's our compass home, back to our true path. It's our North Star. Our heart alchemy opens us up to our true authentic life path, why we are here. And once we alchemize the pain to, from lead to gold, in alchemical terms, we truly return to our divine sacred sovereignty. So, this journey, it's deep inner transformation. It's wisdom, it's enlightenment, it's spiritual wisdom coming back to us. It's the journey back to our true, our divine self. So the lead. So you think of the lead, and that is the negative. The lead is the negative conditions, the thoughts, the beliefs, the ancestral, the DNA. What we've had instilled in us, and the gold. That's the joy, the love, the pure bliss. That's the true alchemy, of our own hearts, the gold. Once we can all attain that the same. We can all attain this. We have it in us already. It's just the conditions of, the ego, the mind, everything that we've had instilled in us. We have to let go. We have to surrender that. We have to really, really want to find our way back to our true hearts. So letting go of the past hurts, forgiving yourself and others, trusting your intuition, not letting beliefs of others have an effect on you, having your own beliefs. So that's your intuition, going with your intuition, being in the now, being present, not letting that mind create stories, of what yet is to come, and what has been before. It's about being in the moment. Eckhart Tolle, the spiritualist, just finished reading one of his books, in the now. It's so important, that being in the now, that then stops the chatter of the mind, that monkey mind, and it brings us back to the present moment. And that's where you can truly manifest in the present moment, and yeah, that alchemy, that happens in the moment, in the present moment. And, it's about facing your fears and confronting painful emotions, either, on your own, or, with the help of professional guidance. Painful emotions that have been suppressed for that long can, really do a number on us. I suppressed for many, many years. And, I probably unearthed things from past lifetimes that I was suppressing. But in this lifetime, my soul's awakened enough that, I had to go back and I had to alchemize the heart. It was time for me, you know, for me to actually really be on this path. If I wouldn't have done this journey myself and I wouldn't have alchemized, you know, the lead to gold and truly gone into my heart and into the ego death, you know, which was the dark night for me on my twin flame path, I really couldn't be speaking about it, you know, because, yeah, you can't speak about something you haven't been through. You know, I've been through that fire on this path, 7 years of it. I've alchemized every bit up to now, you know. I will still continue this path, and I'm sure there's other things to alchemize. But you know, I have that true wisdom now. I have that true spiritual knowledge. It's come back to me, and the remembrance of my own divine power, and the remembrance of, you know, my heart already has everything in it. You know, it was just overshadowed by, you know, the ego and society and, yeah, past lives and ancestral. It was overshadowed by all that. But, you know, this lifetime, it's ready to be, yeah, I'm ready to walk this path now with honesty and truth and from the heart. You know, you can't walk this path any other way. It has to come from the heart. It has to come from that compassion for you and others and that unconditional love. That's what we're here for. Twin Flames are here to, and light workers and way showers, you know, we're here to alchemize all that we no longer need in ourselves, and to guide others, you know, into the you know, the new golden age, new earth, you know, and to show a different way of living and being. That means breaking down the ego. That means you know, breaking down all these ancestral, you know, that means going into deep dark places. You know, it's a true journey back to your inner self. Once you set upon this spiritual path. Yeah, and so lastly, we hold everything in us already. When our hearts begin to open and alchemize the pain, that is the true, you know, that's the true gold there. You know, the heart is gold. So we begin to live in our own authentic selves. You know, everything we do comes from that place of love. The heart is our blueprint, you know, it's our compass back home to ourselves. You know, it's that, it's there already, you know, it's inside us. Whew, I think that's it. So I'll just check, but yeah. So I'd like to speak about this crystal now. And this crystal came to me during my early stages of my twin flame path. Again, not by chance, because nothing is by chance on this path. Nothing's coincidence. You know, I was just looking online one day and you know, this crystal just popped up into my view. It found me. Crystals find you, you know. Most of my crystals have found me, and they've all aligned to, you know, my path, my spiritual path. But yeah, I came across this crystal, and it's called nummite, and it's also called philosopher's stone or sorcerer's stone. You know, the philosopher's stone is the twin flame alchemy, you know. It's connected. I didn't know that when this crystal came into my view. You know, I just thought it was a beautiful crystal, and yeah, and nummite was the name that, you know, I knew this crystal as. But then the Philosopher's Stone came into my view as well. So yeah, then I delved deeper into understanding that, and it's connected to, the twin flame path, basically. But yeah, I use this stone to alchemize. It's perfect for emotional healing and seeing past limitations and beliefs, just what I've been talking about the heart alchemy. We have to bring in that emotional healing for ourselves. We have to do practices that bring in that emotional healing, like yoga and mindfulness, meditation, that they start bringing in this emotional healing and, mental, spiritual healing, many layers, that it starts moving through that consciousness and, unfeeling, the layers. But it opens the third eye and the crown chakra, and it brings them into balance. And that gives us connection with spirit. It's so important on this path that we're on to have clear connection with spirit. And then you can get your messages and your signs, and be open to them from spirit. They're all around us. They're saying you just have to be open to them. Okay, so I want to talk about twin flame again, which I don't really talk about my twin flame path as much now on this journey. But they're saying the twin flame path is a journey of inner transformation and ego death. And, Numite grounds us and gets rid of any negative energy which is important on this highly spiritual 5D path. Twin flames more 5D than 3D. 3D is the earth, 3D is the lower density. 5D is the spiritual. That's where twin flames communicate. Telepathy, twin flame telepathy. That's where dreams, vivid dreams. The 5D is where the twin flames do most of the work. If not all of it. If you're not in physical contact with your twin flame, you're still communicating 5D. More so than what you would be in the physical, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it helps us see beyond the mind, and it brings in a clearer perspective, which is so important on this path. It helps us ask deep questions and to address hidden emotions. Again, to actually bring in that true alchemy and our way back, to the heart, we have to ask these deep questions, and we have to really go deep within ourselves, questions that we probably don't want to ask, painful questions, but it's the only way. They're saying it's the only way back to the heart. That is the true alchemy, is when you start, delving deep. So thereby we open up more in our hearts. When we start asking these questions and addressing the hidden emotions, the heart starts opening up. So Numite, it's very, very grounding, very grounding energy, and you need that on the twin flame path, because you can, without grounding these energies that we, in the 5D, we can feel spacey, we can feel disorientated, until I started grounding, I was more 5D than anything, and you can't truly be present, and that's what they're saying. You need to be present to that alchemy. You have to do practices like yoga and mindfulness and be in the now. And I really wasn't. I've had to realise that myself, that it's not all about the 5D. Although I'm a more spiritual being. We all are spiritual beings, they're saying. We all are. Thank you. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, is what they're saying. but we also have to be able to, you know, be on earth. We have to be grounded as humans, physical, on the earth. We have to have that grounding. So important. And you know, it helps us move past the past issues, emotions, you know, that's needed to release our hearts of old emotions and patterns. And it helps us move past the superficial thoughts, the ideas, the beliefs of society. And it helps us recognise, you know, our true own innate power. You know, each one of us have that within us. The same within our hearts, you know. We have this within us already. But yeah, I've not worked with Nummite for a while. I used it I think it was earlier on in my twin flame path. I was having quite strange supernatural occurrences that was starting to, quite honestly, spoke me out. Because, you know, this path, because we are spiritually connected to the light, we are also connected to dark. So the higher the light, the more the dark will come in at twin flames. So you have to be really, really protected, you know, and that's what I work with crystals for, because they're a protection for me from outside darker, what's the word? What's the entities? But yeah, darker energies that will try to attack us because they don't want the light. They don't want me speaking about the heart and bringing the light, you know, to others. We are very, very, we can be very, very attacked on this path. Speaking from experience, I've experienced it. It was getting quite scary for me. And then Nummite came into my life, and I can honestly say, after working with Nummite and meditating with it about 3 times, I didn't feel that energy around me anymore. I didn't feel that I was unprotected spiritually, you know. So yeah, I'm going to start working with Nummite again today. So I think my guides has brought that back into my view. But yeah, it helps break down that ego that's in us all. That, you know, that's yeah, it's in us all, the saying. It breaks it down, and you know, by coming out of the mind, that journey from the mind takes us to the heart, you know, and that's where we can truly start walking our path, you know, the path that we are all here for. We are truly here to, you know, to live from our hearts. So I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, basically, you know, the way back to the heart is to forgive, to, you know, have empathy, mindfulness, cultivate compassion, bring in sense of self-worth. You know, that breaks down the ego, and then that starts to crumble beliefs and old systems and old patterns, and then that leads us back to the heart. And that's it. The finishing off with, do not seek outside, look within. There you go. Just what I've been saying. So I hope this makes sense. I'm going to go relax now. And yeah, the 10-10 video will be long, but I will know when my energy is right, you know, to do that. But yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I shall speak to you all soon. Bye bye.